see anybody who has been here in the last 10 years will absolutely tell you that there is drastic change in terms of the aesthetic looks, in terms of port appearances, as well as the cargo throughput that we have seen at the port of Mombasa. And if you ask the stakeholders here, they will tell you that you haven't seen nothing yet, because by the year 2025, the cargo throughput expected in terms of tonnage is 47 million from the current about 30 million tons. The question is, what is the way forward? Joining us tonight on Inside Government is Acting Managing Director, Kenya Ports Authority, Engineer Rashid Salim. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here.
Look,
Engineer, I mean, you've been here since 1982.
82.
You've seen it all,
I've seen
but
it
absolutely you don't know it all.
all. I don't know it all.
When you look at the port in 1982 vis-a-vis the port now, what conclusions do you make?
Well, that was joined this port in 1982 as a cadet engineer, and I can tell you there are lots of projects at the moment that was completed and ongoing, and there are some which are actually awaiting certain procedures or processes to take place. This is because of our port master plan. We have it for 30 years, and we ensure that we like to stick with the developments and guide us through the years. We've had a lot of expansions because of the cargo volumes growing, and we have reclaimed Container Terminal 2. We did phase 1, that is berth 20 and 21, and we got 500. The capacity of the containers is 550,000 TEUs, and at the moment we are building this berth number 22, which is 300 meters long and 15 meters depth, and that will give us another yard capacity of 450,000 TEUs.
So
we are ensuring
that's a combined TEU of about 1 million.
Yes, we are actually going to 2.1 million. Our port master plan has also got some other berths coming up after 22 days, 23. This one was started in 2018, September, the new berth, and hopefully be finished by November 2021.
November 2021.
Yes, we had issues with the COVID, people going home, the contractors going home. It's been built by Toyo Construction. The first City 2 berth was opened by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. That was in 2016. We have some other projects. Our key projects at the moment that is funded by KPA is KPA Oil Terminal. This currently we're using only one berth. One tanker comes in, ties up, and supplies a commodity.
And it's pretty old because it was opened in 1965?
Yes.
That's quite old.
Yes.
Tell me things. I mean, you have enumerated about a number of projects, that you have seen come and go.
Yes.
What would this one project be that you say has been very significant to the port of Mombasa and to the business of the region?
Yeah, as I've been telling you, the berth 22 is one thing we're going to do. We're going to have different kinds of systems to actually efficiently be able for us to evacuate the cargo. We'll have more capacity. More capacity means we can have more volumes coming in. We're expecting our forecast in 2023 is 1.7 million TEUs, and we have to keep up with the trend. And when efficiency is up and running, we'll have more ships coming in, and the price of commodities will actually go down. And that is what we're looking at the moment.
The prices.
And during this build, we have our own Kenyan workers actually learning from these expatriates who have come in, because they have certain knowledge that we have not actually embarked on. This is actually doing the structures at sea, doing the piling, doing the construction, reclaiming the land. So this is all good for us at the end of the day. We'll have skilled people at the end of the day with more knowledge on how to build these structures that are actually emanating from the seafront. Yes.
And it's proper to say that the port of Mombasa has registered tremendous progress in the last 20, 30 years. But of course there has also been some downside to it. For example, one of them being the frequent changes in terms of leadership. And a company is as good as its leadership. And when the leadership of a company, is thrown off balance, I mean, you expect to have, a little bit of disarray here and there.
Yeah.
As an organization, how has the company managed to deal with all these?
Well, our mandate is, we know what our mandate is. The cargo coming in, cargo going out, ships coming in, ships going out. And we have an able management team that will continue to actually operate within these confines. About the issues on the different MDs coming in and going out, that's another story that can be taken another way. But at the moment, I'm at the helm, and will ensure that we get the support and cooperation of everybody working here and outside, our regional partners as well. We are dealing with partner states, that's Uganda, biggest throughput, DRC, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. And that's our focus now. We do not want to dwell on what's been happening with the different CEOs which come here. We learn from them. Most of them I've worked with. As I said, I've been here for 39 years, and I've seen how they do. And we are learning from them as the time goes.
Let's talk about, coronavirus. And if there is an institution that felt the heat of coronavirus in this country, is the Kenya Ports Authority. With a workforce of almost 7,000 people.
6,800.
That's why I said almost.
Yes.
7,000 people, working in one institution. That's quite a significant number of workers. Since you went into some sort of a phased approach in terms of your operations, how has this impacted on, number one, your business, and number two, the operations of the port?
Okay, yeah, we had issues actually because we were told that Mombasa KPA is actually the epicenter, and at that time there was no mass testing when it started, So we're the ones who actually ensured that we set up a committee to ensure that we mitigate. We have all the precautionary measures to take to enable us to operate, although at a slow pace, because even and then the lockdowns and the curfews affected us slightly because of the people that are required to be on site for 24/7. Our port authority works 365 days. Even if Labor Day, we still have ships coming in. So there's certain parts of us working on them. So that affected the shipping agents coming in to clear their cargo. We had a quarter of our workforce sent home, the ones with over 58 years, with pre-medical conditions. We have the pregnant women, which we did, and some other staff that can actually have a roster and work from home. Virtually, actually, it's shown us another part of us that we can go virtual at the end of the day. And these are the things that spurred us to go on automated billing, less intervention. There's some processes that we actually we did online, documentation submission online. So these are one of the things that helped us. But we set up a lot of hand washing plants, sanitizers, awareness, sensitization through our local radio stations. Our public address system was coming on every hour, and there was a movable car public address actually making everybody aware of all these issues that to actually social distancing, our clinics, our pilots, the two men, the main discipline of them going and getting the ship. They're the first contact with the ship, so they actually had to wear all the protective gear. And once the ship comes in, it has to give us 48 hours notice, and the last 14 ports they've been to. And so far, at that time when KPO was signalized with having coronavirus as the epicenter, none of the ships who actually came with that virus. The conventional cargo, we're talking about the grains and the clinker and fertilizer, we did not feel it. The ships were still coming in. we felt the containerized because most of the cargo is coming from China. So we felt that there was a slight difference between 2 and 4% of our container actually traffic coming down. But we're picking up. We're picking up now.
And so you would say that, since, the coronavirus took a toll, in global business and especially more on, global logistics services.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the reduction in terms of business, you've seen your business go down by what margin?
Well, we are lucky enough. We never closed the port. Ships were still coming in. But we lost some cargo here and there in the containers, as I said, because there were some ships that were not coming at all at one time or the other. But we did not actually fully actually drop down to us.
But definitely,
level.
meaning,
Yeah.
when this slowdown in global business,
Yes.
and more so on containerized cargo, you would expect this to have some impact on your bottom line. You're talking about a drop of about 2 to 3%.
Yes.
How will this translate into your bottom line?
Yes, we're still on a financial year actual budget at the moment. We are still working out. We've done actually 3 billion for these 2 months that have just passed. But the drops are not significant. It's not so bad for us. We're lucky to, I have to say that. Yeah, so we have our projects running. We have our salary to pay our workers. I cannot say that it was a drop that will actually ensure that our projects don't take off. We're still funding the KPA Ag terminal. It costed us 40 billion. The contractor is doing it, and we're still financing it.
You're still financing.
We're still financing it. So we're not in a bad situation.
So that drop in business is not likely to have any impact on ongoing and future projects in terms of financing.
The ongoing projects are the KPA Ag terminal, and it costed us 40 billion Kenya shillings. We are financing it, and we have not stopped or coming to any issue of obstacle actually in getting the funds whenever an invoice is sent to us. Normally a project is a few years, and after a few months the contractor gives us an invoice to pay them, and we have not failed so far. We have not failed to pay anyone so far.
And let's talk about what the government is trying to do, to try and reorganize logistics in this country. And we have seen the reorganization of 3 critical institutions, one of them being Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Railways Corporation, as well as Kenya Pipeline Company. And one thing that is not yet clear is how will this new arrangement work between the 3 organizations?
Okay. Thank you, Brian. I think it's been in the media for quite a time, and people are going to quote at the moment, but they should have nothing to worry about. It's such a good way forward. We have Kenya Railways. We've been working with them. Railways and harbors, before we split, East African Railways and harbors. So this one is just to bring us together under one strategy alignment to actually ensure that we have efficient services from the sea to the land. For example, the KPA Ag terminal. We've got the ships coming in, we bring in the ships. We work together with Kenya Pipeline to ensure that the cargo, all the commodities, the jet oil, the petrol, the gas oil, the LPG, is actually transferred to the tanks at KPC. So we're already working together. The evacuation of containers, we have to have the rail to evacuate it into the partner states and the west of Nairobi, and all, to the domestic market at the end of the day. So we're already working together. We just want to make sure that it's a whole package, synergies. The operations will not change for all the operating entities. We know what to do, we'll carry on what we're doing, but bring us together under one roof, we'll be able to actually improve on the efficiency. When you improve on the efficiency, you will actually, the wananchi commodity prices will come down. And that's what we want. We want to also reduce in the time of doing business. So any goods from one from one area to another is transported seamlessly, and that is where we're going.
Will we still continue to have Kenya Ports Authority?
Yes, we will.
We
will not change this logo. The logo will still be the same.
Still be there.
Yes, the name will still be the same.
And so, what will be the role of the Kenya Transport and Logistics network?
Right now, it's like Transnet. Transnet in South Africa has got all the ports, railways, and the pipeline together. So this will just bring us together to ensure that we can be competitive also outside this country. Not in this country of ours, but outside. You know, we have all the three entities working together. We have also ICDC who ensures that we just monitor us and evaluate what we're doing at the end of the day to bring us together to one goal. Because they are experts in industrialization and trade. So we're actually using each other to gain what we want at the end of the day. So it's all good. At the moment, we've signed, I think, the framework agreement between us, chairmen and the CEOs. And the next stage is actually sub-agreement. We've been given 60 days. 60 days, we'll do it between the three operating entities to come together and actually ensure that we provide services seamlessly. That is what is ongoing now at the moment.
The MOU that you signed between the three entities, that was about on the 11th of September?
Yes.
What does it say? If you can share with us some of the key highlights, because it's yet to be made public.
Oh shit, okay, I'm surprised because it should be public by now. It highlights how we're working together, how the cooperation trades, how we're going to enter on a common strategy, how we're going to collaborate in different aspects of what we're doing at the end of the day, the operations and technical aspects. There's some institution which we use the same institution for training. We can only use one, maybe, just have one. So we all go in one institution with cost cutting and all. And at the end of the day, what is required is the efficiency between all the three entities.
And the operations
it's quite a chunk full of it. Yes.
And the operations of the port, are not only handled by the three entities. I mean, KPA, KRC, and KPC. I mean, you have other players, who are behind the scenes. We're talking about the Kenya Bureau of Standards. We're talking about institutions like the Kenya Police, Interpol, and so much. So, under these new arrangements, where have they been left, or what will be their role under the new framework?
Okay. As you said, there is one of the interveners, the government interveners in port is health. They'll continue doing their bit. When the ships come in, they ensure that they come on board, everyone is tested, different aspects. They will continue with KRA will continue their mandate. KEBS will continue their mandate. So in fact, there are four of these government interveners. They'll carry on doing what they've been doing all along. There's no change. There's no change.
A lot of people are confusing this with a merger of the three entities.
Yeah.
How far from the truth is this?
It's not a merger, because everybody does. The operations are as they are before and will continue. It's just that we have an umbrella that are holding to see that we're actually following what we're supposed to do.
So
there's no issue about that. No one is going to lose their job at the end of the day.
Currently, I mean, you have a situation whereby, cargo will come with their cargo, if I'm allowed to say so. And then, the port will be like the holding area.
Yes.
And then institutions like Kenya Pipeline, if it is oil, they will evacuate the oil, to distributors and so much. And on the other hand, you have, the Kenya Railways, corporation taking that cargo to ICD or to various destinations. So under this new framework, how will the situation change?
Well, one of the innovations that we're going to come up with, and it's an agreement, it's actually in the agreement that was signed the other day, is having the last mile connection from ICD to any of those warehouses around Nairobi or West, whatever it is. Yeah. So we want to ensure that actually it's like the Dubai door to door. You know, when it comes out, we make sure that from the rail is taken by the same entities into wherever location that container needs to be. You know, at the end of the day, we'll all have we'll all know what the other arm is doing. You know, there's no duplication in services, and that is where we want to go.
So number one is to create seamless connectivity.
Seamless connectivity.
Number two is to bring down, the cost of business.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Very good. Let's talk about, the ongoing projects. Where are we? How is business for CT2?
CT2 is ongoing. As I said, we had a bit of an issue with the Japanese, the contractors going home because of the COVID. But we still have our Kenyan workers who are actually on site, and they're doing the scheduled work until the contractors come back, and they're coming back soon. By the way, yeah, they're coming back soon.
And soon for you means how days, months, weeks?
Well, we are thinking next month. Next month the flights are on, and we expect them next month. They're preparing themselves to come back. This will give us, the new terminal is going to give us robust ICT systems, control centers for us to ensure that we know where cargo is going. We'll have less congestions, more capacity at the end of the day. It will be easier for us to evacuate. We've actually expanded Gate 18 to 3 lanes in, 3 lanes out, so the trucks going to transit countries are evacuated from the port faster, instead of having one in and one out. So we have 3 lanes now. So we all for cargo evacuation. When cargo is evacuated quickly, less downtime, more efficiency, less cost to the people who are living outside.
And you have pointed out, to the number of projects, that have been ongoing and that has been impacted by, the coronavirus.
Yes.
The KOT, the T2, the CT2. Is this likely to push forward the completion date of this project?
Yes, it actually has, and hopefully it will not be. We hope it's not going to be a second wave, because it's going to push us a bit further. We have lost 2 months, 3 months in all the 2 projects. The KOT is, as you say, can take four vessels at any one time. So there's no waiting. Like the tanker we have at the old terminal now, there's another tanker waiting for it outside. So until it finishes, unloads its cargo, when it sells, the other one comes in. But now with this one, we have 4 ships at any one time, a maximum of 170,000 deadweight tons. The other one can only take 110,000 deadweight tons. So we can take 2 at 170,000 deadweight and 2 at 120,000 deadweight tons.
And
that would be a
this
platform.
Is the new KOT.
This is the new KOT.
And by the way, in case you're wondering what KOT, this is not Kenyans on Twitter. You better get it right. Talking about KPA Oil Terminal.
Yes, KPA Oil Terminal.
The popular KOT is Kenyans on Twitter.
Okay.
So let's probably put that into perspective.
Yes.
So you're talking about almost 3 months delay.
Yes.
Is this also likely to have any cost implication?
No, because it's a global pandemic. So it's global. So we've actually spoken to the contractors, and we've agreed that the only thing that is going to be affected is just the time.
The time.
Yeah, but there's no extra.
So there will be no cost push-up.
No cost push-up. So forceful.
Let's talk about the Lamu port.
Yes.
I mean, the first berth was completed. We were expecting to see, the first big ship dock sometimes last year. This has not happened. When are we going to witness this great spectacle?
Yes, we're still building. We've finished berth number 1. We're in the process of having agreement on the equipment that is going to be actually installed for them to start working. We can take some from here, and as a stock measure, and as we continue to build up our capacity. We have the second berth, which is going to be ready in March next year, and the third berth in October. So during this pandemic, it actually put us back, because most of the components, items are coming from China. So that one pushed us back a little bit. But it will open up our northern corridor to Ethiopia, southern Sudan.
When do you expect to have the first ship docking at the Lamu port?
Hopefully this year.
Hopefully?
Yes.
Why hopefully?
As I told you, we're waiting for some items from China. And we'd like to make sure everything is completed at the first berth. But a ship can come in any time, because the Lamu port is already dredged to minus 17.5, and we have the length over of one berth is 400 meters. Those are the biggest berths we have in Kenya, and that will be the biggest port in East Africa, definitely.
Well,
once it's completed,
it will rival Mombasa.
Yes.
And this will be big enough, to accommodate, a big ship like a Panamax.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We take post Panamax here now.
Oh,
so
you do?
yeah, we do. With the recent dredging that we did, we can take post Panamax ships and the new terminal as well. And of course, there we start with transshipment, because it's actually a gateway to the Middle East, Mediterranean, and East Asia, and that is where we want to go. We're in the process of marketing. We have actually sent some shipping lines. They've gone there, they've had a look, and we're coming up with proposal on how to run it. Yes.
And Kisumu Port?
Kisumu Port is done. The cargo has been evacuated by...
Is business already?
Yes, there is business. We fixed the link span for us to take some bogies, wagons with oil through the MV Uhuru to Uganda. We have palm oil coming in, we have fertilizer. So there is a trade. We started the trade, it's well laid down now, and we have the docked facilities that can actually maintain and repair the ships and boats that are operating around Lake Victoria. So it's done, it's complete. We just need more business at the end of the day. With this pandemic, it's slowed us down a bit, but hopefully business will pick up. It has picked up since we completed that port.
So Rashid, as we end up this interview, I mean, look, all these projects, geared towards making the port of Mombasa, the Lamu port, Kisumu port, more competitive and deepen intra-regional trade as well as inter-regional trade. How do you expect the business landscape to change once all these projects are in place?
Yes, thank you, Brian. Of course, at the end of the day, our vision is the world-class ports of choice. We want to remain the hub. We want to ensure that everybody sees us. We have to ensure that all the synergies we have with the other three operating entities are working together. At the end of the day, we want our supply chain to continue and ensure that at the end of the day we have better systems in place, better trained staff, better morale. Morale is up, and that's where we want to go. And once you do that, everything will fall into place.
Everything will fall into place. We look forward for this, and of course to the benefit of the nation, and of course to the region.
Thank you.
Engineer Rashid, thank you so very much indeed for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Asante Sana. We've been talking to Engineer Rashid Salim, Acting Managing Director, Kenya Ports Authority, joining us tonight on Inside Government to enumerate to us some of the projects being undertaken at the Port of Mombasa and how with all this tie-up, to making Kenya the preferred logistic hub, not only in the region, but of course in the entire African continent. You have heard it all from him. This has been Inside Government. We'll see you again on that at the same time, right here on KBC Channel 1. My name is O'Brien Kimani. Asante Sana.